Hello, hockey fans, and welcome back to Royally Quacked. On top of today, I want to just apologize. Our 10 a.m. start time kind of got nixed by an extended family emergency. We have friends that are just like family to us, and they needed our help, both Cody and I. And I got to tell you, Cody wasn't in the picture, and if he wasn't there, it wouldn't have happened because we needed his strength because I'm an old man.
Mm.
Yeah, he's definitely a big guy, and I know Joanne and Kevin really appreciated us what we did today, and unfortunately, it wasn't close to home, the emergency. So we're sorry we're starting so late, but I hope you've joined us. So, anyways, it's good to be back in California. Last week, my first live podcast from the state of Texas. I thought it was a smashing one. We even had a guest on, not expected. That was not planned.
That was
And I
definitely
got
not
to tell
good.
you, does Josh have a voice for podcasting or what? I wish
Oh
I
yeah.
sounded like that.
I think a lot of podcasters wish they had that kind of voice.
Yeah, it's like Eddie Garcia over at Kings
Oh, Locked On Kings, yeah, he
Locked
has a
On
great
Kings.
voice.
I mean, that guy, I could listen to him all day. And
Yeah.
I go, I want to actually ask him a question because I know you and I have spoke about this. We spoke about how we really can't stand to listen to ourselves talk. So when we listen to the podcast, I mean, I'm getting used to it a little bit. I think you sound great, but I don't like the way I sound. And I go, I mean, Eddie's probably got one of the best podcast voices I've heard.
Oh yeah.
As far as, I mean, it just resonates class and everything else. Um, you know, Elliot does a great job. He's unique. Elliot Friedman, his
Yeah.
voice, he's unique. He's good. And even Jeff, Jeff's Jeff's got I think he's got a
Oh
podcast
no,
voice.
Jeff Merrick definitely has a good and even
Yeah.
Kyle Bukowskis has a good voice.
Yeah, I'm getting used to Kyle. I do miss Jeff and Elliot's banter.
Yeah.
But I do I have really come to really appreciate um Kyle's input after Jeff left and he came in. It took a little while for me to really start enjoying it, but I do now. So,
Yeah.
anyways, want to get to what King's news first?
Yep. We'll do Kings news.
Let me just slide it up. There's not a ton, but I did add a few things. First of all, last week, Darcy Kemper was the number one star of the week in the NHL for the week of March 10th to March 16th. Kemper had 3 wins, 2 shutouts, and a 987 save percentage and a 0.33 goals against average. And, you know, it was a trade of 2 unwanteds, and I think both guys have flourished at their new homes. Um,
Oh yeah.
but you know, I would say I think Kemper's just a tad more important to the Kings than Dubois is to Washington, because Washington just overhauled their team. They overhauled that team, and they've done a great job.
Yeah.
Now, I know you have the Twitter comments.
Yeah. So last week when we talked about the 18 seasons of Anze Kopitar getting 50 plus points and climbing up the all-time leaderboard, and he ranked 42nd in NHL history for total points. And I put in the reel, how high do you think he'll climb? And so we had 2 people comment on that reel on Twitter. So I'm gonna everything VGK commented, if he can stay healthy and finish the season strong with a strong next season, he could pass Marcel Dion, which that's good. I can't remember where Dion is in the all-time leaderboard. Maybe I can look that up in a bit. And then Arizona Ranger also commented saying, I think he's got some left in the tank. I can see him catching Jerome Iginla, low key 38. So I believe like probably 38 overall. So I'm glad that people are commenting on these, because like I said, I want more interaction with our post and live streams as much as possible.
Now, who's the GM that always talks about Kopitar? Remind me who that is.
Everyone.
No, the one who missed it.
Oh, the one that missed it?
Yeah, they picked somebody else like 8th.
Oh, I think it was the Columbus Blue Jackets.
Yeah, I mean, they said, if you redrafted Kopitar's draft, he would have gone second.
He would have been a Duck.
He would, and he would have been a Duck. Duck fans, you would have been blessed by that, honestly. The number one would have been the number one of the draft, and that was Sidney Crosby.
Yeah, Sidney Crosby still would have been.
I mean,
number one.
he's class.
Yeah.
Love Sidney Crosby. On to other Kings news. Quentin Byfield is going to the next level. As anybody noticed here lately, even on the power play, sometimes Kopitar's in there, or even in 3-on-3 overtime.
Well, I think we're starting to lose you.
No, what?
Dad?
Oh, I'm back. Am I back?
Yeah, you're
I don't
back.
know what happened.
Restart from the very beginning with Quentin Byfield.
Anyways, Byfield going to the next level. On the power play, Kopi sometimes takes that draw and then stays out there about 30 seconds, and Byfield's been coming in for him. And also, when we go into 3-on-3 overtime, it's Byfield, Kempe, and Doughty starting most of the time. And he's gotten 2 overtime goals or 3, I think, this year. Overtime game-winning goals. I think we're starting to see some of the potential for Quentin Byfield. And he's been, according to Jesse Cohen, the minutes leader of forwards here lately. So we might be seeing Byfield, the number one C, maybe going in next year if he can keep this up. Now, the next bit of news, fans, what do you think? Do you think the Kings regret not trading for Brock Besser, Ricard Raquel, and even, I don't know, I never heard this, but even Jonathan Quick as a backup goalkeeper? Do you think the Kings regret that? Now, what I want to say is what the Kings have done. They did pick up Kuzmenko, and even though up until today, Kuzmenko hasn't got a point, but I got to tell you, I think he's making a difference. He's in there fighting for the pucks. He's made some great passes. He should have some points. It just hasn't happened yet. So yeah. I'm not disappointed with Kuzmenko. I think he gives that bit of energy like Laferriere did to the number one line, and even Turcotte. But I think him going up there, being a NHL veteran, has really, and the Kings have been winning almost every game he's played. I think he's only lost once, maybe twice. I think he's 7 or 8-2 since they picked him up. Anyways, so I'm not regretting not picking up those other guys. And I think Besser's a free agent, right? So we can get him next year.
Yeah, he will be a UFA at the end of the season.
What would you think if it was the number one line of Byfield, Fiala, and Kempe, and then you could put Besser on a line with Kopi and Laferriere or whoever else? I mean, that number one line, that would be wicked.
That would be something.
Or even put him up with Kempe and Kopitar, and then I don't know. I think the line that with Laferriere, Fiala, and Byfield's been their best line here lately. So No, and I don't want to diss on Philip Deneau. He may not be scoring goals like he has in the past, but the guy's been playing the game. He's been tough, and fans, we need to respect that. I hope you
Yeah.
all do. Um, but the last bit of Kings news is it's a minor league deal, but it's a protection deal. The Kings signed Joe Hicketts to a 2-year, two-way contract, 1.55 million. That's 775,000 AAV, and that's a protection on our D line. And if you haven't figured out, the Kings totally rebooted the Reign, and they're in second place right now in the Pacific Division of the AHL. And that's Kings news.
Okay, so to Ducks news. Trevor Zegras comments on the rebuild. I should have had this ready. Here it is.
Yes, you should have.
Yes, but like I said, we
before Cody goes on,
of course,
fans, sorry, you're going to like what I'm going to have to say.
Okay.
Cody was on Locked On Ducks. What was it? Wednesday?
Wednesday
night this week with Kyle Carr. What a class guy Kyle was. He let Cody introduce Royally Quacked to all the Locked On Duck fans.
Yeah.
You know, and we're going to work on seeing if Eddie Garcia will let me go on. I don't know if I can do as good a job as Cody did. I watched it, and you talk about a proud papa I was. And then Thursday night, Cody was on the South
Florida Tribune,
talking hockey, which they do every Thursday night. He was on there. It was him and another young guy. First time. The other guy is a writer for the Detroit Red Wings.
Yeah, and Mike Whitaker.
Mike Whitaker, and they did both you and Mike did a fabulous job on that. And I did watch it and listen to it after the fact because I was at work. But it was incredible. So I just want all you Duck fans to know, Cody's nearing star status here, and I'm very proud papa. So Cody, go on to Duck news. I hope that was okay to cut in.
While we're still on the topic of those, guys, please go give Kyle Carr follow on all the social media. It's Kyle Talk Sports on Instagram and Twitter. You can, like I said, find them at Locked On Ducks on all podcast platforms, including YouTube. You can see me like you see me here. Like I said, Kyle was great. I'm so glad he had me on. I had so much fun. And hopefully we can do it again sometime and everything like that. So it was the Ducks waterfowl episode on Wednesday.
Waterfowl Wednesday.
Please go check it out. Kyle was great. And then the one on Thursday, that one I did was a live stream. The video is actually in our YouTube. They let me be able to stream it from our channel as well. So please go give South Florida Tribune a subscribe on YouTube and Twitter. And they got sports every day of Monday through Friday. So please, guys, go check them out as well. They said they would like to have me on at least every so often. So we'll see how. Hopefully that I can hop on there again. But guys, go give them all a follow. Go listen to their stuff. It was so much fun. They even have on the live stream one, the South Florida Tribune one, they even have a guy named Mike Santos, I guess, on there usually every Thursday. And he used to be an assistant general manager for the Panthers and the Predators. And there was another team. I just can't remember the top of my head. So, but unfortunately, he wasn't there when I was on. But hopefully one day I can talk to him because I think that would just be great. So back to Ducks news about the Zegras comments on the Ducks rebuild. He said, "We've never been in a situation since I've been here. This is the furthest into a season that we've had in quite some time, or as long as I've been here. It's hard to complain with the situation you're in. Obviously, we expect a lot more out of ourselves, and we want to be winning these games against these teams in our division. It definitely stings losing all these games won by one goal. It feels like, but like I said, it's like building off the previous game, and we got a lot of the guys in here that are very young, and regardless of how many games are left in the year, there's obviously a whole new season next year, and just try to build and keep going." So, like I said, it's great news that he's, this rebuild looks like it's turning over finally. So hopefully, this carries on for the rest of the season and into next season.
Well,
Next,
by this time last year, weren't they not already knocked
oh,
out of the
yeah, oh,
playoffs?
yeah,
So
if not,
it's been a win season for the Ducks. They have
yes,
definitely improved.
yes,
So
somewhat.
okay,
Yeah,
they're not a playoff
yes.
team yet, but yes, one thing is to
That's
get
not what
better every year.
That's not what I meant, but yeah.
Okay.
But this is the next big news. Anaheim Ducks have recalled Stan Solberg from Farstead BK of the SHL. He will be reporting to the San Diego Gulls. His Farstead team in the SHL was in the quarterfinals, but the word is the 19-year-old's ice time has been cut in favor of older players or recent acquisitions, and Verbeek wanted him playing. So he's like, well, if you're not going to play him, all right, come on over, Stan. Like I said, I forgot who I told this to. I can't remember if I said this live or not live on the podcast, but either I thought of this or I heard it somewhere. If you said it, please let me know, because I don't want to take credit for it unless I did do it. I just don't remember. I thought of the perfect nickname for Solberg, the Norwegian Nightmare, because there's just saying he's just like Radko Gudas, just with more offense.
I like it.
Yeah. So I hope I don't want, like, if they came up with it, then yes, it's yours. But if not, then yes, it's mine.
Well,
I just couldn't remember.
That's who the Kings wanted,
I know.
and they gave up that pick to, I think, to Anaheim to pick him.
No, we got it from Toronto.
Okay, but we went backwards. We
Yeah,
could have
you guys
had him
you
earlier.
you could
They
have.
wanted him. They wanted him or Liam
Greentree.
So I don't know which one they would have picked if they would have kept that pick.
Yeah.
But
Okay.
they figured they could get one of them where they picked at 26, because they traded the earlier pick.
Yeah.
To go move back to the 26th, and then they got Corder George.
Okay, remember, this is Ducks news.
I know.
Ducks
sorry.
News. All right.
You got a lot more news though.
Yeah, but you're interfering. It's not fair. I didn't interfere. I didn't talk about Ducks during yours.
You've already had like an hour and a half of podcast time without me.
I'm sorry. I'm trying to grow our podcast here. Sorry. Anyways, next bit of news. Even though this isn't true anymore, but it was funny when it did happen. Nikita Nesterenko I'm going to change that word to had 4 NHL goals. Now he has 5, but his first 4 NHL goals were all against the St. Louis Blues, and not just the St. Louis Blues, but Jordan Binnington. So, wow. But now he has officially scored against a second NHL team, which when he scored in Dallas. Oh, spoiler alert. But I thought that was a little fun to talk about that. And then here's something that's really a great story right here. Will Francis. He was the 163rd overall pick by the Anaheim Ducks in the 2019 draft. That was the same year as the Trevor Zegras draft. And Will Francis, a 3-time cancer survivor, has signed his first ever professional contract with the San Diego Gulls of the AHL. Will Francis played 4 seasons at the University of Minnesota Duluth in the NCAA from 2021 to 2025. Despite his impressive college career, he managed to score 0 goals and accumulate only 1 point through 39 games played. But I mean, when you're going through three of those, oh my god, I can only imagine. And but like I said, he never gave up. He's beat it 3 times. I'm so glad he's getting a chance in San Diego.
Yeah, that's a story that people will grab a hold of, and if they ever go, and I would highly recommend going down and watching the Gulls down in San Diego or the Reign in Ontario. Those games are fun and it's competitive, but somebody to cheer for who's could have given up and never went in. And look at this.
Yeah.
So,
and then last bit of news. This is Verbeek on Leo Carlson. His mindset has been completely different since he got back from the Four Nations, and it's been great. And I can tell you, he's been on a tear since the Four Nations. So, but that is it for Ducks news. So now we can go to league news.
So you want to start or you want me to start?
You start because I know more about the next one.
Okay, the San Jose Sharks and the Chicago Blackhawks or the Bedards have been eliminated from playoff contention. I think San Jose was first and then Chicago.
Yeah, San Jose got eliminated first, and then Chicago was just, I believe, last night.
Wow.
On the DFO rundown with Frank Saravelli, they were talking about, at this point in time, earlier this week, there was a total of 747 fewer penalties called this season than last season. And about 50, there was some teams where they had 50 less power play chances this year. But then during the general manager meetings that they had, I believe Saravelli talked to one of the main referee guys, and they're like, yeah, like there may be a lot less, but the missed calls is not, there's no decrease in missed calls. So that should just tell you, like, maybe just the game is getting better all the way around. Like, less mistakes, more hockey. So.
Sounds good.
Yep.
Rangers and ex-King Arthur Kaliev is out for the rest of the season due to an upper body injury. And unfortunately, that's been a big problem for Arthur throughout his career.
Yeah.
Injuries have really slowed him down. So I still wish him luck.
Yeah.
I wanted to see him succeed. So
no, I wanted the Ducks to actually pick him up too.
So. Yeah, 'cause he's a sniper. He just needed a new scenery.
No, he did.
So
100%. All right, next bit of news: the Penguins and the Nashville Predators will be facing off in the 2025 Global Series at the Avicii Arena in Stockholm, Sweden. The games will be on November 14th and 16th. So,
wow.
So it's not to start the season. It's like kind of in the middle, or in the beginning, but not like right away like it normally is. So, and then you got the next one.
Could Utah be down to 2 team names?
Yeah. So right now they're down to the Hockey Club and Mammoth. They're working on the whole legal side of everything now. Dun dun dun.
Yeah. It's Mammoth. I hope it's Mammoth.
Everyone that's listening, which one would you prefer, Mammoth or Hockey Club for Utah? Put in the comments. Let me know what you think. All right, next one. Sidney Crosby scores career point 1,679, and Crosby surpasses Wayne Gretzky for 4th most points with one franchise in NHL history.
Maybe one of the reasons he stayed in Pittsburgh and signed that 2-year deal. I mean, there's something. I mean, loyalty's something.
Yeah.
In a lot of ways, you're not seeing it with a lot of things like basketball. You're just not seeing it much anymore. They're always bouncing around to one team or another. I think it's kind of cool when a guy stays with the team like Kobe's been, and like Dustin Brown stayed their whole careers with one team. I mean, I know it's not always your choice, but I think it's cool when it is.
Yeah, for sure.
So Pierre, is that mine?
Yeah, that's yours.
Pierre LeBrun inquired about Gary Bettman's thoughts on discussing the Stanley Cup playoff format change during the upcoming collective bargaining agreement talks, potentially reverting to the old system like 1 versus 8, 2 versus 7, etc. Bettman responded that he prefers the current format and has no intention of altering it. Well, it might not be his only decision. Might be more than his decision. A lot of teams don't feel it's fair. I know why they do it that way, because you have a lot of it's rivalries.
Yeah.
You know,
Mom put on Instagram, she says Mammoth better for merchandising, which I agree with that.
well, I already said that. I'm for Mammoth. I mean,
Yeah.
that's. I mean, you think of it. You always think of God, what the movies, Ice Age movies.
Yeah.
And the mammoth, the big happy mammoth, and I can't remember the star who did it. He had his own show. Ray Romano.
Yeah,
I
I
always think
agree.
of that big happy. Tried to always do the right thing, mammoth.
Yeah. But like here's the thing, like they were talking about it on other podcasts, and they're saying like even if they went 1 through 8, it still would only change like a few things here and there. But yes, I would agree. It may change like a few series overall. But here's the thing. It would also change the like who you play in the second round. So instead of like, if you don't play just the divisional partner, so if like whoever wins between Colorado and Dallas, they'll play Winnipeg. Instead, it could be Winnipeg will play the lowest seed instead, like how it used to be. So it could change a lot more that way too. Mom also put in the comments, Yeti missed a big opportunity.
Yeah, well, I think that was because they couldn't trademark it.
Yeah.
There was too many problems legally with it. That's why it didn't happen. Or otherwise, I think that would have been the name.
But we do have a comment in Facebook. We do have a birthday. Happy birthday. Was it Herguito Gonzalez? Happy birthday.
Happy birthday, Orguito.
And thank you for the like. We appreciate that as well.
Thank you very much.
The next bit of news is the 2025-2026 NHL season will start on October 7th, which is about usually when it used to start before COVID happened, which is because it always usually started around my birthday around that time. So
I would be happier if it never stopped.
agreed. It would be a lot better for
I know
our
everybody
podcast for sure.
Well, not well. See, we had some of the most fun podcasts during the off season. I mean, our
Yeah.
most popular one is Hockey 101. And
Yes, while we're talking about that, all our new listeners, because I know there's a lot of new listeners, please go check out our Hockey 101 episodes. There is 3 episodes. I believe they're episode numbers. I took a picture of it somewhere. It was episode number 24, 25, and 26. We have Hockey 101. Even Adam Broll, one of our close umpire buddies and hockey buddies, he hopped on because he plays hockey, and also go follow Patriots hockey as well.
yes.
But go check out those episodes. If you have any confusion or anything like that, go listen to those episodes, download, listen. If you listen to it on YouTube, go like it as well, or leave any comments on there. And also, if we didn't answer anything that you don't know, DM us or come on the live stream and ask us. We'll answer it right on the air.
Yes. One thing that why hockey isn't as popular is that people don't understand it.
Yeah.
We tried to do it in the best way we can, and then we could even probably go in and maybe make it better. Maybe. What do you think, Cody? Listen to it, see if we can make it better.
Yeah, maybe we can update it during the
Do an
offseason.
updated 101.
Updated 101.
We could send out you guys certificates so you're, hockey 101 graduates.
I guess I'll have to work on the Royally Quacked signature.
There you go. So, per Emily Kaplan, billionaire Dan Friedkin,
Frickin'. I'm just kidding.
Frickin', I like it, has emerged as a strong ownership candidate to bring the NHL to the state of Texas and the city of Houston. Sources told ESPN the NHL has met with the Friedkin Group several times as the league fields interest on potential expansion. TFG also owns AS Roma and the EPL's Everton. Oh, so it's a big entertain or
Yeah,
owner group,
Ro-
which means that they have the money to do it, not like that Arizona guy.
yeah. AS Roma is a very good. I was about to say hockey, football club in Italy, and then Everton. They've had their ups and downs, but they're still a really big club in England. So they even have a movie based on Everton in a way, but not really. But yeah,
A movie?
not a movie, but there was a guy. I believe it wasn't a true story or anything. It's called Goal. It's a great movie, but
Hey, before we go on to the next piece, have you heard that there's going to be another season of Ted Lasso?
yes, I'm so excited.
Oh, is it true?
Yes,
It's
true.
not a
Even
scam on there. Oh
no,
my
even
god! Yes,
even
Woo!
Apple TV posted it, so their direct social media.
You heard it first at Royally Quack.
Sure. On a hockey
ahead.
podcast, we're talking about a soccer show. Yeah, but no,
Well,
if
you can't tell me
I love
most people don't love Ted
Oh,
Lasso.
I love Ted Lasso. So speaking of expansion, and actually, real quick question: if you're listening live, or even if you're listening to this a week or two later, or tomorrow, or whenever you listen to it, put in a comment, DM us. Where do you want the expansion team to go next? Where do you want team number 33 to go? Do you want Houston, Atlanta, Quebec? Where would you like to see a new team, and why? And if you want to add in there, what would be the team name? Just have a little extra fun. But this is what they said for the new expansion fees. Expect the new NHL franchises located in either Houston or Atlanta to pay an expansion fee of $1.5 billion, and that's per player agent Alan Walsh. Do you want to know how much Vegas paid for their expansion fee?
Yes, I want to know.
Oh, okay.
You didn't ask me how much. You asked if I wanted to know.
Okay. Yes, you beat me on that one. So yes,
I did.
Okay. They paid.
You know the answer, don't you?
Yes, I already know the answer. They paid $500 million for that.
Wow.
Yeah.
And they got the best rules for an expansion draft ever.
I wouldn't say yes, they got the best rules, but they also got the best advantage because of the new rules, and they played other teams. And then so when Seattle came around, they're like, "Oh yeah, we're not messing with you guys either." So
yeah, yeah, they stole Theodore, they stole McNabb, they stole just about everybody.
You're giving me all right, let's move on before you give me PTSD, please.
It's my turn, right?
It's your turn.
Washington Capitals are the first team to clinch a playoff spot and score 100 points this season. What do you think the odds were in Vegas that would have been true? What would the odds been before the season started?
If you think about it, they were the last team in last season, and now they're the first team in this season.
Yeah, but the odds would have been, I mean, if you would have put $1,000, I bet you it would have been 500 to 1 odds.
Oh God, I should have gone for it.
So should I. I'd be retired right now.
Oh God, yeah. Next one, could all the teams in Canada make the playoffs? Do you know? Actually, guess the last time every single Canadian team was in the playoffs. And if you guys know on the stream, comment on YouTube, Twitch, Instagram, Twitter.
Okay.
X.
I'm not gonna give my answer because I really don't know. I had a guess though.
I'm gonna just tell you this: it was before I was born.
I was gonna guess the year you were born. That was gonna be my guess.
1986 was the last time.
Say I thought 92. For some reason, 92 came in my head. I don't know why.
Yeah.
And here's a guy he's I don't know that I totally respect how he played the game, and he was always winning. Pat Maroon and announces he will retire at the end of the 24-25 season. And how many Stanley Cups did he win? 3
At least.
or 4?
He won 3 in a row.
And
3.
and the Ducks let him go.
Yeah. But we're also talking about someone that almost got cut to the AHL before he won his first Stanley Cup with St. Louis. He was almost
Yeah,
he
but
almost went to the AHL.
he's a role player that wins.
Yeah.
That's what you want to find, guys. I mean, everybody can have their superstars, but you need those role players. You think about it when the Ducks won it. There was role players.
Yeah.
I mean, Ruchin was no star. He was a role player. And he did his role perfectly in between um, Korea and Solani, just to name one.
Yeah.
He got no recognition for what he did, really. I know you always respected that because he was one of your favorite players. I mean, not obviously Solani's your favorite because he's mine too with the Ducks.
Yeah.
But Ruchin was just one of those guys that you loved. You loved if he was playing for you, and you hated when he was playing against you. And those are the kind of guys teams need. So
Yeah.
we want to go to games.
Let's go to games. So we each had 3 games this week.
Yeah, and you know what? We finally had a good week, both of us.
I think I was 3 for 3, right?
Yes,
Yes.
and so was I.
Oh. All right, you want to go first or you want me to go first?
You go first this time.
Okay, I guess I get to talk about this fun of a game. So the Ducks played in St. Louis. You want to know the last time the Ducks won against St. Louis? They've lost now, including this game, I believe, 10 straight games against St. Louis. 10 straight games. And I don't know what it is about playing St. Louis where the Ducks love to give away a goal within like the first minute every time. So the Ducks go to St. Louis, and Braden Shen gets the scoring started at the 41-second mark. Yep, you heard that right.
It took that
41
long.
seconds. It took that long. Yeah. But that's not all. At the minute 30 mark, Pavel Buchnevich scores. So now it's 2-0 St. Louis after 90 seconds. Yes, you heard that right. 90 seconds. Not 90 minutes. 90 seconds. So after the first period, it was 2-0 St. Louis. Then we go to the second period. Dylan Holloway scores on the power play to make it 3-0. And then, thank God for Cutter Gauthier. He finally gets a scoring started for Anaheim. He gets his 13th of the season with assists from Radko Gudas and Mason McTavish. So now it's 3-1, and that's at the 10:06 mark. But then again, 5 minutes later, Radek Fatska. Oh, that's one. That's a different one. He scores his 4th goal of the season to make it 4-1 St. Louis. And then Matthew Joseph gets a goal on the short-handed play. Yes, you heard that right. And it was an unassisted, short-handed goal from Matthew Joseph. Just tells you how bad the Ducks' power play is. So now it's 5-1 St. Louis. And I know I spoiled a little this earlier, but Nikita Nestorenko got his 2nd of the season, his 4th goal against St. Louis, and his 4th goal against Jordan Binnington. So that's his 2nd of the season. Assist from Cutter Gauthier and Mason McTavish. And then pretty much almost back-to-back power play goals. Yeah, Jake Neighbors getting his 18th of the season, and then Oscar Sundquist getting his 6th of the season. Not a very good game overall for the Ducks. at all. Key moments of the game, I would say, the Ducks faced a very challenging start, conceding 2 goals in the first 90 seconds. But luckily, like I said, Cutter came back in the second period with that goal pretty much halfway through the game. But then Trevor Zegras had a very critical breakaway opportunity in the second period, but it was denied by Jordan Bennington. The end of the game, the Ducks defense struggled to contain the Blues' aggressive forecheck and quick transitions. The early goals by Shen and Buchnevich set the tone for the game. But the Ducks' inability to capitalize on the power play opportunities and their penalty kill struggles were significant factors in this loss. Despite the loss, young players like Gauthier and Nestorenko showed promise, contributing to the team's offense. 3 stars of the game, and I highly doubt you'll see any Orange Country players, is Dylan Holloway was the number 3, Kairu was number 2, and Braden Shen was the number 1 star. Oh, thank God I'm done talking about that game. Your turn.
Well, you know, it's funny is St. Louis, a weird way to get a player is to offer sheet. They did 2 offer sheets last year to Holloway and Broberg, and both of them accepted and left the Edmonton Oilers. And both guys have had a great season. So St. Louis, what a great job.
Yeah.
I mean, an unusual way to get a player, not just 1, but 2 from the same team. I just want to throw that out there if you guys did not know that. So I thought whoever, what's the general manager's name over there?
Where?
In St. Louis.
Oh, Doug Armstrong.
Armstrong, that was a brilliant moves from him. Oh, yeah. Not only that, you hurt the Oilers and you helped both the Kings and the Ducks. And thank you for that.
And let me go to my Ducks too.
True. Let me go to my first game. And this was a barn burner. That's a lie. You want me to go to the scoring? I have to go to overtime to get the scoring. This is a quick one. In overtime, Quentin Byfield gets his 17th at the 3:20 mark to give the Kings a 1-0 victory over the Predators. And the Predators somewhat have kryptonite for the Kings. Everybody else, you know, they've been getting slammed by everybody. The Ducks have slammed them a couple times. But against the Kings, they play well. This game, no scoring for 3 periods. Let's go over the stats real quick. I mean, but it was Byfield 17th, from Kempe is 27th, and Brandt Clark is 23rd. And one thing I got to tell you, I am so glad that Hiller has decided to let Clark play again and not be a 7th guy he's our future. He's our leading defensive scorer of the year, and you were not playing him. And I just think that was not what should be the game plan. Anyways, so let's go to the stats. The shots on goal. Actually, Nashville outshot us 24-21. The Kings 55-45 on faceoffs. Nashville 0 for 2 on the power play. Kings 0 for 3. Hits 26 by Nashville, only 18 for the Kings. Block shots 21 for Nashville, only 9 for the Kings. And the giveaways, the Kings 17, Nashville only had 13. Takeaways, Nashville 8, and Kings only had 5. And when you really think about that, how did the Kings win that game? Other than the faceoffs, they were basically dominated by this team that's not even close to the playoffs. Let's go to the 3 stars of the game. The 3rd star was from Nashville, and that was a Noonan, the goalie, 952 save percentage and a 0.95 goals against, because it went to overtime. The number 2 star, which I think I would have probably made him the number 1 star, was Darcy Kemper. He had a shutout. And then the number one star was the scored the game winner. And he's the up and coming superstar for the Kings, I'm hoping, because I think he's the key for us to go to the second round at least. Quentin Byfield with the game winning goal. Now on to your next game, Cody.
All right. So the Ducks play in Dallas. And here's the thing I don't get. When we played in Dallas last time, we were wearing the orange helmets with the white uniforms. And we totally dominated that game. We go back to Dallas. Why are we wearing the orange helmets? We're wearing the white helmets. You need what's the deal with that? Come on, guys, come on. Anyways, the Ducks go to Dallas, and the Dallas Stars get the scoring started at the 11:42 mark by Wyatt Johnston on the power play. So it's 1-0 after one period. Then we go to the second period. And finally, on his 5th career goal, 3rd of the season, Nikita Nesarenko finally scores on his 2nd NHL team ever. And Pavel Minchikov and Maxim McTavish get the scoring started at the 2:48 into the second period on a tip-in shot.
And his second goalie scoring on.
Yeah, second goalie scored on.
Just thought I'd throw that in there, Cody.
Mm-hmm. Yep. And both goalies were part of the Four Nations tournament. Dun, dun,
That
dun.
says something.
Yeah. All right. If it's the right goalie I'm thinking of. But at the 4:25 mark in the second period, Michael Granlund scores his 17th of the season to make it 2-1 Dallas. And then Leo Carlson, as we call Uncle Leo, gets his 15th of the season on the power play. Assist from Ryan Strome and Troy Terry, and on a nice little poke goal. To be honest, I didn't understand why this wasn't a goal originally. So before I guess the ref waved it off, but they didn't say why. And the puck was literally like under the goalie, but it was like going across the line. It was like literally slowly going across the line. Then you hear the ref's whistle. So we're wondering, wait, why is the whistle going off, and why is he waving it off? Didn't give us a reason why. Then they go, there's like a whole thing, and you can see Rich Clune and Gray Cronin talking to the referee. They're like, hey, can we challenge this? Like, that's a goal. Can we challenge? And all of a sudden the referee comes back and he's like, all right, Anaheim's challenging for goaltender interference. I'm like, what? They're challenging for goaltender interference? And I guess that's why he waved it off. I don't know. They didn't really specify anything. So, but it turns out that there was no goalie interference. So, as he says, and I know Jeff Merrick hates this, we have a good goal. Why isn't it not just a goal?
Yes, he does hate that, doesn't he?
Yes, he does. I love it. So,
isn't every goal a good goal?
That's exactly what he said.
I know.
I guess after he said on 32 Thoughts or the Jeff Merrick show last year, a lot more referees were just saying, we have a goal. Like after he kind of made a big spiel about it, everyone started doing that. But anyways, then we go to the 19-20 mark with 40 seconds left in the second period. And Leo Carlson gets a little breakaway, but gets denied. But wait, there's a penalty. So we're like, oh, okay. Ducks are going to go on the power play. Cool. But no. You know what they call? They call a penalty shot. Because I guess Carlson had enough room and advantage for them to call it, which I must have been. I just thought it was just going to be a power play. That's what everyone thought. Brian Hayward and John Allers, they all thought the same thing. So, but nope, he gets the penalty shot. And honestly, that might be better for the Ducks because our power play's horrendous. But you know what's not horrendous? And what's actually what I say nasty is Leo Carlson's penalty shootout goal. Whew. He just knows how to move those hands and just dekes Ottinger and puts it right in the net. And we have a tie. Actually, no, we take the lead 3-2.
We have a good goal.
We have a good goal. But in the third period, the Ducks couldn't hold the lead as Dallas tied it 3-3 at the 4:37 mark by a goal by Thomas Harley, which I think he's going to get a nice big contract coming soon his way. But so we go into overtime because the Anaheim Ducks cannot convert on a freaking power play to save their life. So now we go into overtime, and at the 2:32 mark in overtime, Michael Granlund scores the game winner off of a rebound, and the Ducks lose in overtime to the Dallas Stars. Shots on goal, the Ducks had 25, the Stars had 31. The Stars had a 58 face-off win percentage, and the Ducks had 42. Ducks had 26 hits with Stars 16. The power play, the Ducks were 1 for 4. So better than we normally do, so I'll take it. The Ducks' standout performances, Leo Carlsson had 2 goals, a power play goal, and a penalty shot, showing his elite offensive instincts. Nikita Nestorenko with the 1 goal, and Lukas Dostal had 27 saves, which kept Anaheim in the game. The 3 stars of the game, as I scroll down. Sorry, I thought I saw something different. All right, 3 stars of the game was Thomas Harley with 1 goal, 2 assists for 3 points. The number 2 star was Leo Carlsson with 2 goals. And then the number 1 star was the guy with the game winner, Michael Granlund. So that is that game. So the Ducks are now 1-0-1 for the week.
That was at Dallas, though, right?
That was in Dallas.
You know, if you can take Dallas to overtime and get a point
In Dallas.
I think that's a win.
I know. I
most
completely
any
agree.
team, that's a win because they are so tough. And, you know, we talked about earlier about that playoff thing. How fair is it that it's Dallas and Colorado?
Yeah.
And then you look in the West, it's always the Kings and Edmonton. I mean, I understand they're all rivalries and stuff, but we eventually want to see something different. I really like better the 1 through 8, but not.
So if we went 1 through 8, Dallas would be playing Minnesota, Vegas, and Edmonton, and then LA and Colorado.
I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, we're playing Colorado, I think, next week.
Yeah.
So,
I think
okay.
Yep. Go ahead.
Speaking about Minnesota, the Kings on the 17th go and visit Minnesota because I don't know if anybody knows, we got a lot of home games, and we're the number 1 point percentage team on home games in hockey. So this is a game away, going to play Minnesota, and it was a good game. I mean, it was a hard-fought game. Both teams played well. Let's go to the scoring. It starts off good for the Kings at the 4:59 mark. Adrian Kempe on the power play from Kevin Fiala. Well, it was Adrian Kempe's 28th goal, Kevin Fiala's 20th, and Doughty's 7th assist on a snapshot put the Kings up 1-0. So the first period ends 1-0. I mean, sort of looks like, the last game we didn't even get a goal to overtime. So we go to the second period, and on the power play, Ryan Hartman gets his 9th from Spurgeon, his 20th, on a tip-in at the 1:51 mark to tie the game. And that's how the game, after the second period, it's tied 1-1. Then on the power play, and I'm trying to remember who had the penalty on that. I can't remember, but a stupid penalty, and Mats Zuccarello gets a 16th on the power play from Boldy, his 35th, and Hartman is 13th on a wrist shot at the 15:22 mark of the third period to put the Wild up 2-1. Then, of course, empty netter at the 1904 mark from Marcus Johansson from Spurgeon his 21st. Seals the win for Minnesota, 3-1 on a slap shot. Let's go to the stats.
I think that was the Dano tripping on Trennan.
It might be. I know I was listening to the game, and I knew a minute the penalty happened, we were in trouble. So in this game, the Kings outshot Minnesota in Minnesota 29-22. But Minnesota won 53% to 47% on the faceoffs. But here's where the game was won, on the power play. Kings did go 1 for 4 for 25%. But the Wild went 2 for 3, 66.7% on the power play. The hits were almost even, 19 Wild, 18 Kings. But the block shots, Kings dominated that 20-11. Giveaways, 19 apiece. Seems like a lot of giveaways to me.
Yeah.
Takeaways were tied 4-4. Let's go to the 3 stars, see who they were. And there isn't a king to be found, but I think the guys that got it, well, there's an ex-king that's in there. Well, let's go with the 3rd star. Gustafsson was a number 3 star with a goals against average of 1 and a .966 save percentage. The 2nd star was ex-king Brock Faber with 0 goals, 0 assists. He just played a good defensive game. And the number 1 star, Ryan Hartman, with a goal and assist for 2 points. So on to you, Cody. Let's go to your next game.
All right. Last game of the week was in Nashville. The Ducks. Oh, let me get my broom out. Sweep. The Ducks sweep the Nashville Predators this season. That's right. We won all 3 games against those Trashville Predators.
Ooh.
Yeah. But here's the thing. It was a very ugly start for the Ducks. And I just love Zegras' comments because it was a very interesting national anthem what the Predators did. And it's something I've never seen before. They had a guy playing the bongos and singing the national anthem. I could see why the Ducks were like, wait, what? And get rattled by that. But Steven Stamkos, who denied going to the Anaheim this season to go to Nashville, he gets his 23rd of the year on the power play at the 7:07 mark to get the scoring start of this game. And that was the only goal they get. Because in the second period, Jackson Lacombe ties it up at the 7:29 mark with a wrist shot, his 12th of the season, with assists from McTavish and Brett Leeson. So, way to get that going. And then Troy Terry added another goal, showcasing his offensive ability. It's 19th of the season, assist from Zegras and Mintyukov, and to make it 2-1 Anaheim at the 13:19 mark on a wrist shot. And then an interesting way how Zegras' goal is credited here. Zegras gets his 8th of the year, assist from Hellison and McTavish to make it 3-1 Anaheim at the 15:36 mark on a bat shot. I guess he batted it in. Well, way to hit the home run, Zegras. I appreciate it. And happy birthday, Zegras, because this was his birthday game, too.
Wow.
Yeah.
Happy birthdays, Trevor.
Yep, he's 24 years old.
Score on Michigan for Cody.
I would love that. I know he tried last week, but I'd rather it go in this time.
Yeah, that was close, though.
Yeah. So the Ducks just dominated the second period, and in the third period, there was barely any scoring because there was only 1 goal, and there was no goalie in the net because Alex Killorn got his 16th of the year with the empty netter, assist from Ryan Strome to make it 4-1 Anaheim at the 19:24 mark on the empty net.
Wow.
John Gibson comes back from injury in this game, just making a great presence all around. delivered an impressive performance with 33 saves with a 971 save percentage. The Ducks' penalty kill was effective, allowing only 1 goal on 2 power play opportunities. I wouldn't call that effective, but okay. Both teams registered 34 shots on goal, and the face-off percentage was nearly even, with the Ducks at 49 and the Predators at 51. With this victory, the Ducks improved to a record of 30, 31, and 8, keeping them in contention for a Western Conference wild card spot. So let's go over the 3 stars of the game. Where is it? There it is. 3 stars of the game was Mason McTavish with the number 3 star with 2 assists, and then Zegras with 1 goal, 1 assist for 2 points as the number 2 star. And then John Gibson was the number 1 star with only 1 goal and the 971 save percentage. A great way to end the week, and I just love how the Ducks really put it to the Nashville Predators, especially Marchessault and Stamkos, making them wish they came to Anaheim instead of Nashville. So that is it for the last game of the week for the Anaheim Ducks.
Now on to the last game for the Kings. Now it's funny. I do believe the Kings have the best record with playing the teams above them. And they have a terrible record at times playing the teams below them. Because I do believe, unless we play Nashville one more time, we're either 1-1 with them or 1-2. And I do believe we lost the first 2 games to Chicago. And now we're in Chicago playing the Blackhawks, or the Bedards as I call them. Let's get to the scoring. So in the first period, we start off again. Trevor Moore gets his 14th unassisted on a wrist shot at the 8:45 mark to put the Kings up 1-0. Then it's Alex Turcotte with his 8th from Gavrikov, his 21st, and Spence his 19th at the 19:44 mark on a tip-in. And after 1, the Kings are beating the Bedards 2-0. So let's go to the second period. And who scores on the power play but Bedard himself, his 19th from Pertuzzi, his 19th, and Teravainen his 38th at the 10:50 mark on a slap shot. So now after 2 periods, it's Kings 2, Bedards 1. So we go to the third period, and again, third period, you see a lot of empty netters. Here's an empty netter. Joel Edmondson, unassisted, gets his 6th on a wrist shot at the 1941 mark for a final score of 3-1. And I got to tell you, a lot of people are, Rob Blake is up this year for a contract. A lot of people go, who he picked up to start the season or before the season, during the offseason, to help improve the Kings. They thought it wasn't good enough. And I was one of those people. I don't know how you felt about it, Cody. I mean, honestly, if you looked at it.
Oh, I mean,
I got to tell you,
the only big moves
Edmondson,
he did was the Kemper trade, and then I mean, the moves he made weren't bad moves,
but they weren't the outstanding moves people wanted.
Yeah, but
I got to tell you,
what cap space though?
Well, yeah, but they gave some money to Edmondson that they didn't think he deserved, and I got to tell you, I think he played to his contract. And Warren Fogle outplayed his contract. And Kemper on that trade, I don't think we're where we're at without him.
Yeah.
So here's something to throw out there, because I'll finish up the game in a minute. People, let us know what you think. Rob Blake stays or Rob Blake goes. You can do it now. You can email us. You can Instagram us, you can TikTok us, or I'm not really great at all these things. Facebook us, whatever it is,
TikTok
let us
us.
know. What?
They could TikTok us.
TikTok. I don't know. Can you do that? I don't know. I'm not a TikTok guy.
Just direct message us on any social media.
Yeah. Well, then you had
Oh.
let's go to the stats. Kings outshot and outplayed Chicago 33-17. But in the face-off circle, they lost 52-48. And again, the Kings power play, which is something they really need to get improved, is 0-2. If they want to go farther in the playoffs, they got to get a power play. Chicago was 1-for-4. On hits, it was 22 Chicago, 19 Kings. Block shots was low for both teams, 10 for the Kings, 8 for Chicago. Giveaways, Chicago had 15, Kings had 11. Takeaways, they had 7, we had 3. Let's go to the 3 stars of the game. Connor Bedard of the Chicago Bedards was the 3rd star with a goal. Quit laughing, Cody. Trevor Moore was the 2nd star with a goal and 1 point. And the 1st star was the game winner, Alex Turcotte, with a goal. So that's the end of the games. I hope you guys got that all updated. Are we going to go to predictions now, Cody?
Yeah, we can go to predictions.
Oh, so what I wanted to tell everybody is, unlike the last 6 weeks, Cody and I, we both went 3-0 this week. So I am at 31-28. Cody is at 28-32. So the gap that used to be like 10 or 11 between us is really small now. And we've done a better job because, man, we went through a bunch of weeks where we were both terrible, like 0-for-3 or 1-for-3. I really had a horrible last 6 weeks. So it's nice to go 3-0.
I've been like here and then here and then here and then but more down here.
Oh, do we want to do players of the week first? Or do we want to go to the predictions?
We can do players of the week.
Well, you're up first. Who did you pick?
All right, my Ducks player of the week, and I know we discussed this earlier, but I'm going to go with Uncle Leo Carlson. Just that big performance he had in Dallas. He's looked good every game. You could just tell he looks a lot more comfortable out there now. Ever since the Four Nations tournament, he looks like the number 2 pick that we got. So Uncle Leo is my player of the week.
Okay. It was between 2 guys for me, but he was the NHL's number 1 player last week, and he went. I mean, the Minnesota game wasn't his fault. I mean, it really wasn't his fault. He only gave up 2 goals. We got to score more than 2 goals to win a game most of the time. But Darcy Kemper is my king of the week, with Quentin Byfield trailing once again, which earlier this year we were concerned if he was going to mature. It looks like whatever Hiller's been doing in practice with him, he's becoming the player we expect. So now, do we want to go predictions for next week?
Yeah, let's do predictions for next week.
Because we're playing 3 of the same teams.
We are playing the same teams.
Yeah, well, we're playing a 4th team. You're not.
Yeah.
So I have the Kings beating Carolina 3-2. And then
Cheater.
Sunday.
No, I'm just kidding. You already had that on there.
That's what I thought it would be. I mean,
know.
The Kings have been hot, and Carolina's coming in at our home game, and I'm trying to let it pop in my head who should win, who I think should win, instead of trying to analyze it. That's what I've been trying to do here lately, and it's been working for me. And then tomorrow we play the Bruins. I have us beating the Bruins 4-2 at home. And then we play Tuesday. We play the New York Rangers. I have us beating them 5-3. And then we go to Colorado, and we just struggle in Colorado. And I have Colorado beating us 5-4 on Thursday. So I had the Kings going 3-1. It's up to you now.
All right. So we play literally the same first three teams. The Ducks come home and play against the Carolina Hurricanes. I'm going to say a 4-2 loss to Carolina. Because I'm pretty sure after they lose to you, even though we kind of already know that part now, they're probably going to want revenge, and it just usually never happens good for the Ducks on that one. Next up, the Anaheim Ducks play at home against the Boston Bruins. I'm going to go with I'll go 3-2 win, and I'm going to say win, but I'm going to predict an overtime win for the Ducks. And then against the New York Rangers, I hate to do this because they've looked better as of late because they're still making the play. They're trying to make the playoffs, but I'm gonna go with we'll do a 3-2 loss to the New York Rangers. So I have them going 1-2 this week.
Okay.
Yep.
And then did you want to talk about the race for Gretzky?
Yes, the race for Gretzky. And I can tell you this now. The Capitals did win today 6-3, or they're winning right now 6-3 in the second intermission to the Panthers, and not one goal by the grade 8 so far. But there's still a whole nother period.
Well, have you looked at where he's at right now?
Yeah, he's at, I think I have it right there on the notes. He's at 888. The grade 8.
It. Yeah. Okay, the grade 8 and 3 8s right in a row.
Yep.
Okay, I do have a trivia question for you.
Well, before we get to that, he is 7 away from beating the record, and Alex Ovechkin has the most seasons with 35 plus goals ever. He has 15 seasons with 35 plus goals.
You know what I find funny about this whole thing?
Ovechkin
is a goal scorer.
Yeah.
He's trying to beat a guy that wasn't even what he did best.
Yeah.
Have anybody ever thought of that? Gretzky wasn't a big guy. You know why he scored so many goals? Because they wanted to take away his passes because that killed him more than he scored. And the only reason he scored 894 goals is because they figured out we're going to stop him from passing and make him beat us. And he actually did it.
Yeah.
But it wasn't his best attribute. It was his passing ability. And I just find it funny that, it's taken a long time for someone to even get this close to him.
Yeah.
And that was not what he was known for.
Yeah.
So here's the trivia question, and we will give the answer today.
Okay.
Which team holds the record for most goals scored in a game?
The record?
Team and how many goals?
Team and how many goals?
Yeah.
How what's the time frame like?
Let me tell you when it was, because it's going to make it easy for you. It'll knock it down to 6 teams. 1920. 1920.
I'm gonna go with 17 goals.
And what team?
The Montreal Canadiens.
Well, you got the team right.
Ooh.
But
all right. How close was I?
Hot, very hot.
Do I need to add more or subtract more?
Well, that's going to give you the answer.
So more 15.
You're still hot.
16?
16 goals by the Montreal.
I was off by 1 goal.
That was incredible, bud. I got to tell you, I'm impressed by that. I had no idea. I looked that up. It wasn't something like I had in the back of my head.
Yeah.
So Hope you guys enjoyed the trivia question, and hope you enjoyed the podcast. Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't
They
forget to
oh, go
don't
ahead.
for, don't forget to go on to Waterfowl Wednesday and either on any podcast platform or on YouTube and actually see Cody and Kyle talk.
Mm-hmm.
But I got to tell you, I was a pretty proud dad of my kid. He did such a great job with Kyle. I mean, I was impressed, and you even did a good job with the South Florida Tribune podcast on Thursday too. So don't forget to go see Cody do that, and then if I get lucky to do something else, we'll let you know.
Yeah. Yeah, guys. Like I said, please go follow Kyle Carr at Locked On Ducks. I believe I posted something, but I can if you guys ask me, I can send you his thing, and hopefully we can have him on soon. I would love to have him on
I would
soon.
love
Yeah.
absolutely. And the thing is a lot of people, I don't know, all you Duck fans probably knew. I mean, Locked On Ducks was like blacked out for what, like 3 or 4 months.
Yeah, it was it went dark for since like the middle of November. And like I said, I've been listening to Locked On Ducks since like 2018, 2019, I want to say.
Yeah.
So when Kyle asked me, I had like literally the biggest smile on my face because I was like, I don't know, it was just felt like, like, oh my god, I gotta do something that I'm like I was like already a fan of.
Right.
That'd be like like Greg Cronin looking at me like, all right, Cody, hop in net. That's how I would have felt, like, something like that. I know
I'd
that's
like
not going to happen, but
I would actually like to see that happen.
I've been wanting to try what it's like to be a goalie. I would like to once throw on the pads and have just like a very average person, like have you shoot on me, someone that is
Yeah,
not
so
going to kill me right away.
since I
Uh,
can't skate,
yeah,
so
can't skate, and I like if like Martin Furt comes out, I'm like, no, oh, no, I'm running away. I don't want 110 miles per hour puck coming at me.
or like Dowdy.
Does Dowdy get that
Dowdy
high?
has a good slap shot. He does.
Yeah, but not Martin Furk's status though. Martin Furk had like the hardest shot for like the last like 5-6 years.
Who cares how hard it is? He probably miss you.
Well, I don't want to take that chance either way. But yeah, everyone, like I said, go please follow Kyle Carr on all social media. I believe it's Kyle. Was it Kyle Talk Sports or Carr Talk Sports? I did. I can't remember which one it is. I could look it up. I can always repost it and everything like that.
I think you should do that so we give him kudos.
Yeah, let me look it up
because we do appreciate that you had Cody on, Kyle, and
it's Carr Talk Sports. It's KJER Talk Sports, and that's on his Instagram and I believe his Twitter as well. So
is that how
please
you spell? Is that how you spell his last name?
Yeah, KJER. Yeah.
Oh, I like it.
Yeah, I know. So, like I said, please go give him a follow. I know he'd appreciate it. And who knows, maybe I can hop on again and you guys can ask me questions there too, or you guys become locked on. Also, please go give the South Florida Tribune a follow and subscribe on Twitter and YouTube. That way, if they ever go live on Thursday, I might be there, or hopefully one day my dad joins us. So please go check it out. We would really appreciate it. Like I said, please go. If you guys love this, what we're doing here, we would really appreciate if you guys can like the video on YouTube and Twitch. Please give us likes. We want likes and subscribes. That would really help us out a lot.
Absolutely. Tell your friends and family about us. Hockey, I mean, hockey doesn't have a whole lot of negativity like other sports does. And it's one of the most action-packed sports to watch, view live or on TV.
Yeah.
Once you get used to where that tiny puck is, if you keep doing it, it becomes easier and easier to see. And that's usually what drives people away, is they can't follow the puck because it moves fast. Well, if you watch where everybody else is going, chances are the puck is there.
Yeah. Also, please leave us a review or a rating on Apple and Spotify. We'd really appreciate it on there. And go download. If you guys are just audio listeners, please download the episode and hit us up from time to time if you guys have any questions about anything. And last bit is follow us on all social media at Royally Quacked on TikTok, Twitter, or X, Instagram, Threads, and everything.
We do have Gmails too.
And do please, if you have an email, you can send it at royallyquacked@gmail, or my dad's at
Gary.royallyquacked@gmail.com.
And we got, before we head out, we do got two more comments from Facebook. We got Frankie saying, "I have a question. Why haven't you guys become Yankee fans yet? I'm waiting." Well, I'm sorry to disappoint you, Frankie, but you're going to be waiting a long time before I'm a Yankees fan. And he said it has negativity if you play in or for Canada.
Thanks, Frankie. Appreciate your love for your team, but we're both big Angel fans, to be honest with you. But I love your passion that you have. So I never lose that, because I know that's why people love you. So other than that, I'm ready to get out of here, Cody. What about you?
Yep. But before we head off, everyone, please go in the link tree and go follow our network at Elite Sports and Entertainment Network. We got a daily show, the afternoon show at 2:00 Eastern Standard Time. That's right, I said Eastern this time. And guys, they get talk everything about sports. Go comment, go have fun, and go tell Frankie that no, we're never going to be Yankees fans. And he says, "Pops, I know secretly you have the Yankees." So, everyone,
I always loved Mickey Mantle. Mickey Mantle was a hero to me when I was a kid, Frankie. So, I mean, it's not total hatred, because other family members don't like the Yankees, but as a kid, I loved Mickey Mantle. And what a star he could have been if his knees would have been better. He might have been the all-time best ever. So I still have in a certain way a love for the Yankees. And you know what? I also like oh god, why can't I think of his name?
I think the only time I've rooted for the Yankees was in the movie The Scout with Brendan Fraser.
Oh, that was a great movie.
Yeah.
But didn't he strike out 27 guys?
Yeah. So, all right, we are running a little bit long, so let's get out of here, so that way everyone's gonna enjoy the rest of their weekend.
Yes.
So
love you guys. We'll see you next week. We'll try to be right at 10 o'clock this time. Hopefully, no family emergencies ruin that. And
10 o'clock.
I'm going to say
Pacific time.
Yeah, 10 a.m. Pacific time. Go Kings, go!
And let's go Ducks. We'll see you guys next week.